Welcome to Cinema Bites, your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes. The movie begins with people on Mars on an exploratory mission for certain purposes. The mission has been ongoing for 6 months and is supposed to end tomorrow. Then we see Campbell in the first vehicle saying to the person next to him, "There's a terrifying storm coming," while talking to Harrington on the phone asking, "Do you see what I see?" Campbell then says they need to quickly retrieve Kim from its hiding place before the storm hits. Those inside the base step outside to do something, then return. We see them walking in an enthusiastic atmosphere as they prepare to return to Earth, thankfully. Campbell tells his companion that they will finally be able to see the blue sky and walk on green grass. He calls Kim, urging her to come along, but she doesn't respond. He calls again, and she still doesn't reply. We learn she's deliberately ignoring them, saying, "Go ahead, I'm not leaving now." They tell her to calm down before the storm makes her regret it. She responds, "If I leave now, it'll be as if I've done nothing at all." They assure her there's plenty of work and 6 months' worth of effort stored with the leader in his capsule, as if they're already on the beautiful spaceship. She then remarks that their discovery is ordinary, like being the second person to land on the moon. She boards the vehicle, upset, saying they haven't achieved anything. They take the vehicle and head to the base. Back at the base, the leader mentions something's wrong. Energy has run out, and they'll have to stay another day. Harrington tries to communicate with the base but can't. Then we see Doiby telling Marco, "Why are you laughing while looking through the microscope?" Marco replies casually, "Nothing." Later, the leader talks to Harrington, asking when they'll return to Earth. Harrington says he doesn't know, but there are 19 hours left to exit before the last outlet burns out, and communication with Earth is completely cut off. The leader tells him to try again while they wait. Suddenly, the electricity cuts out entirely, and the backup batteries kick in. They say they'll wait for Campbell to fix things. Marco approaches the leader, asking for a word. He mentions something outside he forgot to fix and wants to handle quickly. The leader tells him to forget it. He needs everyone inside for closing procedures. Marco insists, saying it'll look bad if others fix it while he doesn't. The leader reluctantly agrees but warns him to be careful and finish quickly. Marco requests another favor, to take someone with him. Marco takes Harrington along. The leader then tells Harrington to keep an eye on Marco and return quickly. Later, we see the trio outside returning to the base safely, but before entering, Campbell recalls a flashback of the ship in orbit, which bothers him momentarily. He brushes it off and notices 2 people exiting. Kim causes a problem saying, "We're going out to fix something and you're making us wait to leave at this exact time?" Harrington tells Marco they need to hurry. Marco responds, "No hurry, we'll take our time. This trip will take what it needs." Marco hints at something hidden, saying the leader doesn't know. Harrington questions him, and Marco assures him the leader is unaware, adding, "There's no real leader here. It's just a cultural thing." Later, Campbell asks his companion for help with cooling systems since Harrington left. She declines, saying she doesn't understand them. Campbell sits in a cramped space while Rooney passes by, asking, "Are you happy?" Campbell replies, "Just trying." Rooney mentions wanting to talk to his daughter, expressing disbelief that it's their last day there. Campbell agrees, but notes there's still time before they leave. Rooney adds, "It's not about leaving. We're leaving with a nuclear warhead." Rooney then notices half the carbon dioxide filters aren't working, urging them to fix things quickly to leave. He says this issue can't be resolved without help from Earth or additional support. Meanwhile, Kim argues with the leader, with some considering her rude and others thinking she has a point. Kim questions how Marco managed to leave so easily. Later, Kim exits. Then she entered Marco Doobie's office and said to her, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to enter here." She told her, "I also want to understand why his research is more important than mine. So you're saying that he's interested in the sensors and went out to fix them." Then she starts checking the research and says, "There are pictures on the rocks that look like cells. So there's life here. This is bacteria. And how could he hide this from us? All this so he doesn't leave the credit to us with him." Then the leader talks to them from there and says to them, "I want to block this area." But Harrington tells him that Marco is downstairs. He said to him, "Let me call him." Marco tells him to leave them alone and tell them that the network is cutting off or that you can't see me. Come quickly and bring the camera to capture the most important discovery in modern human history. He felt into a hole happened suddenly in the place, Harrington running to it, but they did not catch him, and he quickly returned to call for help, and after seconds he found the leader and Dollaby with him, and he said to him, "What is the matter?" He said to them he did not know. He disappeared in this hole, and the smoke did not show anything. Dollaby told them. "Surely he's okay," he told her. "Any small fall could break the helmet and kill him. We won't be able to get him out without equipment. I will go to get the equipment," and came back and she asked him about the operation time. He told her from 30 to 40 minutes. Harrington told them, "Don't worry, I will stay with him." She told him, "No, I will stay with him." And the leader leaves her and goes back to tell them he and Harrington, and they still can't believe it. Then we see Kim. Outside, she says to them, "When will we announce the discovery? There's not much left before we leave." And Harry, because she fed up with Harrington, he tells her, "Do you have no shame or what?" She replies, "All this just because I am focused on the mission and doesn't want to ruin it." Honestly, he's the one who made the mistake when he left. Then he argues with her and was about to hit her, but others intervene. Later, they're talking to the base, and she tells them that Marco's family has been notified and that they should talk to him later. Meanwhile, we're supporting 100%. Finish your mission, bring him back, and return. They close the conversation, and everyone goes their separate ways. Ronnie comes to the leader and says, "It's not right for any of these individuals to speak like this at all." He warns, "This will cause problems, and it's not fair for Harry to leave again. He must stay here with Kim." That's exactly what happens. And they prepare to go out to rescue Marco, if he's still alive, and return quickly. We see everyone at the base except Kim and Harry, who stay behind while the others move. Dolby go to stand in front of the pit but decide to return as instructed. She sits in the car waiting for the leader, who asks her, "Any updates?" She starts to say everything is fine, but hears a voice saying, "There's someone outside," opens the door, and as soon as the door opens, she disappears. The rescue team arrives to find the car empty with no trace of Dolby. They decide to lower Campbell, as he tells them to quickly investigate what's below. He descends slowly with a flashlight because the smoke above obscured everything. When he reaches the bottom, they ask him, "What do you see? Is everything okay?" He replies, "I'm in a place with strange things, but I can't describe what I'm seeing." Then he stops talking, remembering what happened at the space station, triggering a panic attack. He doesn't respond to them, and they pull him up. They ask him if he's okay, and he replies, "Yes, they're not down there. Don't worry, I just remembered something." Meanwhile, Ronnie calls them, saying he sees footprints of a person and sends a message to the base to prepare. They decide to move toward the base as well. Later, we find Kim and Harry trying to talk, but Harry says, "I don't want to talk to you." Then they receive a signal indicating Marco and Dolby are coming. They open the door to find Marco's helmet damaged, and he's struggling. When Harry removes it, he discovers a strange-looking monster instead of Marco. Marco has transformed into the monster, grabs the nearby drill, and descends into a slimy substance. Harry then runs to Kim, warning her to run away, saying, "This isn't the real Marco." He activates the alarm, and as he ascends, Kim runs away. When she sees their appearance, she realizes they're no longer normal and says, "We have to escape now, or we'll all become zombies like them." She runs to the equipment and sends an SOS to the rescue team on their way, who don't understand what's happening. Kim begins throwing chemicals at Marco's face to repel him, which only hurts him slightly. The leader arrives and finds Kim escaping. He realizes Marco looks strange and tells Kim to quickly put on her suit and leave. As soon as she wears the suit, Marco confronts him. The leader tells Marco to calm down, saying, "You're sick and we'll help you." But Marco attacks him, injuring his chest. They all leave and Kim tells them to close the door behind them. They ask, "How can we leave them? They're still breathing," meaning they're alive. She replies, "They're no longer humans. They've become something else." They see the leader coming out, pull him out, and lock the creatures inside with Harry, who is essentially considered dead. They say the door is made of steel and impossible to breach. One of them comments that the creatures have explosives and dangerous items. They respond, if they detonate them, the pressure will kill them along with the explosion. Campbell goes to observe their appearance through the glass and understands Kim's point that they're no longer human. They decide they must head to the hydrogen dome to save the injured leader and figure out what to do next. Then they actually go under the dome and they find him, and they put the leader on the table in the middle. And they tried to calm him down and take off his suit to see the extent of his injury, and they helped him. But they said to him, "Unfortunately, your shoulder bone is broken." He told them, "It doesn't matter, that's it, I'm going to die anyway. What's upset me is that I stayed here for 6 months, and I thought I would leave." While he was talking to Rooney telling him that he wants their help. He finds him, attacks him, and hurts his neck, and then he feels like he was in a coma, and he came back to them again and said to them, "I'm sorry to all of you. All this happened because of me. And that I let them go out and he died while talking to them, so that later Kim, moving, and she tells them, "Come on, tie him up with him because he will most likely move." They told her. Instead of being sad, she told them, "The two outside are breathing in the Martian atmosphere so he could transform like them. Tie him up as a precaution." Then they say that they have to contact the Aurora base immediately. Then we see Marco and Dolby blowing up the place there and he comes out. This destroys the energy and destroys anything that could help them get out of the situation they are in. So that we can see later, Ronnie says, as long as Harry and the commander are dead, there is no one but Campbell who knows how to fix the communication system there. He told them, "Okay, but so that I can go there, you stay here and try to lie them here, and I will go down from the shared hatch between here and there, and lock it after I leave." They were getting ready. They bring them until here, then they open the door for him and he goes down. and he is afraid that he will remember about what happened again and become nervous or have a seizure. Then they sit and examine the sample that belongs to the commander and find bacteria. And not only that, this is similar to what Marco was working on. Then we see Campbell coming down as soon as he reaches. Then he thinks about the old incident that had traumatized him. Then he told the girl that he was unable to do anything and did not know how to concentrate at all. She told him to calm down. No one else would be able to do this task at all, and I saw you working on the communication system by a can, so I believe in you. But he told her that there is blood all over the place. Apparently, some troubles happened, and he walked carefully and watching the two outside the hydrogen room so that they don't walk and attack the guy. And in the middle, they say that we have to try a practical solution. These are bacteria. We can try to make an antidote for them and spray them with it, for example, using the spray that we use to clean people when they come in from the pollution. Then he says to him, well, let's test its success. He found that it was still true. They said that we can try it on the commander. He has transformed and is moving. Then we return to Kabul, who is walking cautiously, afraid, towards the energy room to fix it and regain control. They send aid. The distress device will go first, and he loads in front of him and opens. Then we return to the people in the dome. They take blood samples from the commander, and they start to increase the antidote that they made for these bacteria. He removes the cover from his face and his eyes are all black. He has started to transform, but they sense that the one trapped inside is still there, and there is a human response inside him, and they inject him. With the antibiotic, he begins to convulse, and his body reacts violently to him. Then they draw a blood sample again. He examines it and found that the antibiotic has worked against the bacteria, and as long as they succeed intravenously, it will work when it is sprayed. Kim begins to put it in his sprinklers, and then we see that they were talking to the base, and he heard the voice of one of the Aurors telling him that we are in a state of urgent help, and he has no energy to complete the words. He notices something shining, and then he disappeared and we found out that Harry was still here. At that time, those in the base found that Marco and Dalipi started to walk towards the base again, and Campbell was there saying that we must open the door outside for them so that they could enter and get busy with it. This happened, and he hid underneath until they entered and started filling the antibiotics, but the girl told them to, because the bacteria have acquired immunity to it, and unfortunately it causes a very temporary effect. We see Campbell again while he is still trying to get out or move from this place, and he runs quickly and finds Harry in his face and grabs him to hurt him or bite him and turn him like him. But Campbell hits him, and then he runs away from him saying to them, Harry is behind me. Open the tunnel quickly so I can get out before him. And they put on all their suits and then they open the tunnel and the alarm is on for oxygen. And then the two outside run away to the base again and Campbell comes out and hits Harry. But he comes out again and Kim goes to get chemicals and throw them at him. So he goes down and they hit him and he insists until the girl said to them, let's go out. Kim said to her, come on, I am coming after you. But you find that Ronnie, when he went out, he locked the door and kept looking at her. And she is looking at him regretfully that he left her here to delay Harry and the leader, and they left, and then they run to the car immediately and found that the girl is badly injured. Campbell tells Ronnie to get them away from here and treats the girl while she is looking at him with a look meaning that she will transform. He says to her, don't be afraid, we will treat you. And he continued to say to them that the spattery will run out, and we sent a distress call, and they go down to the place of the landing. We won't be able to get close to it with this battery, and in a little while the sun will charge the batteries. We will move in this car to the other car that is at the scene of the accident, and we will take it and leave when he arrived and Campbell was getting out. But Ronnie said to him, no, don't go, they might be behind us, and you don't sacrifice yourself. They said to him, okay, but if you find something behind you, come back right away. And then as soon as he arrived there and opened the door, Campbell says to me, no one is listening to us, just you and me. He said to him, yes, but the girl was listening. He told him that we had to go and leave the girl as she is infected. Campbell told him to count to 3 to back down. Then he went back, and he knew that he was injured in the neck. He also decided to betray them, and he walked away in the second car and left them. When he got down, he ran after him, but he didn't catch him, and his back was full of the zombies that were all transformed, so he ran again in the car with the girl. He tells her they are coming after us, but there is a storm that we can get into, and this is our trail. And they are really doing that, and she tells him, what are we going to do? He told her, we will sit down. There is nothing left to do before us. When the sun rises, it will charge the batteries in his car. She told him, what if it comes around and sees us? He tells her, we will run away from them a second, third, and fourth time. What will we do? I mean, she told him there is nothing else to do. And then we see her telling him that she felt and the leader is dying, that he still has the human part inside him, not a zombie. Then we see her. In the morning, when he wakes up from sleep, he looks around and hears a call from Aurora's, and they are trying to reach anyone to tell him that they are coming down, and he finds that the girl is not there, and he knows that she went out because she was afraid that she would transform and harm him, and he finds a trace in front of her, and he keeps walking behind her and tries to calm her down, but she still does not respond, and he goes down after her, and she keeps saying to him, "Leave me alone. I will transform and harm you." And he refuses to get back. So she went, removes the helmet and died in seconds, and he cries. But after a while she transformed and stood up and started attacking him. While he was holding her and tying her up and trying to wake her up, she returned to her normal state and said to him, "Kill me, please." He was okay, and grabbed a rock and actually killed her. So that after he finished, he found the Aurora's ship is coming down to take them to the specified place when a distress call occurs. He hears those inside him talking and saying that they do not hear any response from anyone at all, and they do not know what is going on. Then Campbell sees his colleagues who have transformed, and they move towards the ship. He screams and tells them not to get down here and not to open the doors. Then he finds the voices of the people coming down from the ship saying that strange things are coming to us, and they did not finish their words. He finds screams and distress calls and he runs to them. He sees Marco, but he is a corpse. He knows that someone who transforms like this will not live long. Then he enters and locks the door behind him and moves slowly towards the command room in order to find Ronnie there. But he is a zombie and is still at the beginning, and he tells her, "I don't remember my daughter's name or shape, even to say goodbye." He tells him her name is Ella, and then he tells him that I have to go to her and start the ship that is moving alone because the two of them are busy hitting each other. And then Campbell hits Ronnie with the helmet until he completely loses consciousness, and after he finished, he takes it out and throws it into space, and then he extricates himself because he did not know how to breathe, closes the door, returns to the ship again, and sends out a distress call that reaches them after a quarter of an hour, telling the station in space that all the personnel who were with him are infected with a bacterial. The rescue team is also dead, and I don't know what my condition is, but in general, if I am infected, I do not know what to do. And if I was not injured, I did not have enough gasoline, and the movie ends. If you liked today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all new updates. See you in the next video.